We're in Tonopah, Nevada. We're just coming out of the Station House restaurant and casino and hotel, and we're going to drive around Tonopah a little bit, and then we're going to go down and look at the old cemetery in Tonopah. The old cemetery. There's two cemeteries, and we're going to go down to the old cemetery. Now we're going to drive up here. There's Radar Hill up there, is what they call that. Driving up here off the road a little bit. This is part of the old base camp. We're in Logan Field. Logan Field. Logan Field is named after a sheriff they had here for many years, and he was a wonderful sheriff. He was a Mormon background, and quite a few Mormons were in Nevada and Arizona, etc. This, we're going by the old Air Force base here. We're going to look at that in just a moment. Just going to drive in here, turn around, and go back. Some of the old barracks. This is the old air base. Anyway, the sheriff that they had here, we're going to go try to find his grave in just a little while. Down at the old cemetery. Looked like that was an old mess hall there. Possibly. Looking over here in Tonopah is there's just millions of yards and pounds. Under Tonopah, there is nothing but a catacomb of tunnels, deep tunnels. You look around, you see all the big-looking derrick things. That's where they had mine shafts going down there. And underneath Tonopah is nothing but holes in the ground. Now, you see these big hills around here. Some of these big hills were not there. That's the mining debris that they took out of the ground. It's what came out of the ground. A lot of these hills are man-made hills. Or that derrick standing up there, that mine shaft, all of that below that is tailings that came out of the ground. It's a good thing this mountain is a rock pile, because if there wasn't so much hard rock here, it would probably cave in. So if you see all these mountains up here, you can imagine how much of a cavernous area this is under the town of Tonopah. A lot of people come up here and work in the mines. They work in roads, construction, all kinds of things. The Nevada Department of Transportation, etc. I'm going to go up and down town here before I go to the cemetery. There's the hospital. There. It was a tourist town at one time. A lot of mining around here though. Lots of mining. Go up here and turn around here. There's the station house up there, to the right there, and also the Central Nevada Museum. And that's a pretty neat little place to go in there also. It says it's open.
Open Tuesdays and Saturday.
It's got a open sign on it. It might go up there also. And just walk through there. I'm going to go down here to the cemetery. It'll take a while for me to walk through that cemetery. Marilyn will not be able to go, so she will watch the video like you do. We're going down into the town of Tonopah. One time a gangster came through town here, and he was had killed a couple of people down toward Las Vegas. He was coming through town, and he drove through town here at 120 miles an hour. This is a very downhill road here. You have to realize the man had killed other people. He didn't care who he killed or who he didn't kill, so he just did what he wanted to do. Well, he got down here, and he on down the road, he turned his car over, threw him out, and the deputy there held him down until he quit moving. And there was no trial or anything, but he went straight from there to the morgue. He didn't have another chance to kill anybody else or run over anybody after that. Now there's the Mizpah Hotel above, straight ahead, and then the Belvada Hotel, and we're going by the Humbug Flats and the VFW post and the post office down here also. Go by there. This is a clothing store here, which we visited, and there's the post office with a miner standing out there with a guy holding another miner. And we're going to go down here and we're going to see where many of these rescues and many lives were lost in these tunnels underneath this town. Many, many lives. There was a lot of plague up there and flu and all kinds of stuff over the years. There used to be a Chevrolet and a Ford dealership here and all kinds of stuff a long time ago. It kind of got depressed in movement and everything. We're going to be going to the Clown Hotel and to where the cemetery is, and I'll do a walk around the cemetery to some extent. The Clown Motel is a world famous clown motel. They got clowns all over the place. If people got a phobia of clowns, this is the place for them to come, they say, or stay away from, one or the other. Here we go. This is the cemetery here. I'm gonna point the thing out here so Marilyn can see where I'm walking.
I don't want that all the way down.
Okay, tell me where. How's that?
Okay.
So I had to roll the windows up and down to Marilyn's pleasure. And now we're going to turn this thing around. Or again. At the Clown Motel. Again. Some wind noise here. Going down to the old cemetery. First, Tonopah Cemetery. Buried here are many of Tonopah pioneer residents. And it's pretty hard to read that. The 1902 is what I see in one there. And then here we have a little 1901 to 1911. See if I can get one of these things out of here. Charles Smith, age 33, from British Columbia, died August 1906, was murdered in his cabin behind the Midway Mine. Eva Brown died July 24th, 1909, age 10, brain fever, born in Nevada. At rest, Laura Smith, September the 16th, 1906. Thomas Payne, age 21, October 28th, 1800 and something. George Marukevich, June the 20th, 1907. Velomir Marukevich, June 20th, 1907. Brothers killed when attempting to stop a runaway Tonopah and Goldfield Railroad ore car near the loading bin in Tonopah Belmont Shaft. Both of these brothers were killed together. This is a country of pioneers, and in pioneer country sometimes there's lots of danger. Most of these people here died very young. Edward Conley died December the 21st, 1910. He was from New York. Mrs. Adelia Gallagher, age 83, maybe. January the 18th, 1911, on on my birthday. She was from Ireland. F.P. Van Patten, 1911, from New York. Robert Frazier, 1879 to 1911. Clarence David, Belmont mine fire, died there. Matt, age 25, the Belmont mine fire. These all were killed. Mike Scobely, age 38, Belmont mine fire, February the 23rd, 1911, at the 1,100 foot level. A native of Austria. Nick Olivik, age 31, Belmont mine fire, February 23rd, 1911. Belmont mine fire. Guthrie's, age 51. Mix, died 21st, 1911, probably in the fire. Avery, age 71. J.A. Burkhurst. Many people from all over came here to work in these mines from nearly every state in the Union and different countries. Come here to try to get rich. This other miner died of tuberculosis. He was born in Ireland, Joseph Jacobson. Died of pneumonia, 1906. Died of pneumonia. James Donald. John McDonald, heart failure, 1906. John Madsen, age 45. He was from Finland, died from heart failure. They work so hard they drop over dead. Another one died of pneumonia. Born in Scotland. Jones, died of pneumonia. I'm going to the ones that we can read the inscriptions here. Age 84, Jake Barrett, known as Old Jake, a friend to all. Well known in central Nevada and other mining camps. Sold peanuts, candy, and other edibles. That's why he lived longer. He went down in those mines. Died of pneumonia, 1905. A lot of people died of pneumonia here at that period of time. Peterson, volunteer entry, was in the Civil War. Eli Harmon Rose, 1905. He was sitting in a chair in front of a wood stove when he died. Frank Burke, Belmont mine fire. He fought in the Spanish-American War. He died of consumption, probably lung disease from breathing all the dust. Veteran Civil War, John Paul Spain, it looks like Brame or something like that. Miner's consumption. Philippine American, died of pneumonia. Civil War vet, Elmer Dunlap. Made the first shipment of silver ore from Tonopah to smelter. Looks like this one's had several. A veteran, Charles Kuhlman, born in Germany. American Civil War. New York infantry. They brought a lot of people in from Germany, a lot of conscripted soldiers. Died of heart failure, Joseph Reed. He was in the Civil War also. So that other fellow there, he was the Germans that were brought here to fight in the Civil War on the Union side. Abraham Lincoln paid for a lot of them to come here. Mercenaries. James O'Neill was in the Civil War, died of heart failure. You're suffocating, you die of things like that. Alexander Albert Archie MacDonald, 1878 to 1911. More headstones there. They're barreling up in the car. Every one of these people lived a life one time, whether it was long or short, and wished for the best in this world. Try to make enough money to live and find someone that loves you and that you can love back, and they lived and they died, like all of us. Giovanni, Civil War veteran. Dennis Gallagher, died of asthma in 1908. You can get asthma here. Dick Kennicum, K.A. Simpson, 1863 to 1908. Hugo Matson, died of blood poisoning after an accident in Belmont. J. Murphy, died of dynamite. Died in the 3rd level Montana Tonopah mine. Alice LaRoche, died of tuberculosis. White flag. Manuel Manalese, Brethren. Russell J. Blue, died 1810 or 1910, that is, of pneumonia in the Spanish-American War. Almost all of these people are victims of mine accidents. Juanita Lee from New Mexico, died in 1908, probably. Katie Brown, died due to peritonitis after her first birth of her first child. She was born in England. Peter Leckie, Pennsylvania. Miner's consumption, born in Iowa, born in Ireland. Look like Catherine Wheeler. Leonard Black, age 11, fell from a freight wagon loaded with 3 tons of grain. This one's run over. Emil Carson died of pneumonia. This is had a appendicitis. He died 2 years after an unknown illness in 1909. Here we go still. Remembering these people, they lived and they died here. James Wesley that is. From Ireland, Fergus, 1910, probably the pneumonia plague they had here. Yellow jaundice. Hepatitis. George Cabrillo died August 1912, explosion on the 1,100-foot level of the Belmont mine, native of Montegrano. Smith, Ada Smith. Pauline Strahl. Ben Avinault died from New York. He was an adventurous person. Bruce Page. This one here, Fred Waite, he was from Switzerland. This man was electrocuted. Tim Chedrovich was electrocuted on the 200-foot level of the Mezpaw mine. With a shotgun by Indian Tang Darrow, a Spanish Spring Road house at woodcutting camp. Elvis Guerrero fell in a ditch and died. Patrick H. Farrell. Wrote that on the back of that for some reason. George, explosion at the 1,100 foot level. Evidently Ripley was here at one time. James Burns, 1910, aged 26 years. It's a long time ago, people, but these people really lived. Typhoid fever, Chris Kavich. Died of typhoid pneumonia. He was from Michigan. This one was in Michigan. Died in a mine cage fire, side of the mine shaft. Was killed while driving an express wagon. Age 30, Mildred. Can't read a lot of this. Winfield Sloan Sherman. Kicked in the head by a mule at the Rawhide, Nevada. Read that one very well. Louis Christopher died of asthma. A lot of lung diseases here. Frank Campbell. He was a gambler from Texas. Died of a gunshot wound. Frank Ehlers, teamster, died in an alley next to a casino dance hall. Self-inflicted gunshot wound, native of Austin, Nevada. Some of these don't have any signs at all. Samuel Phillips, I think, age 40, consumption. Can't read these at all. Looks like they had steel plates put on there, but the steel is rusted. Tommy Egan, and I don't know what that is. This one's from Ireland. So many from Ireland here, almost from many countries in the world. Unknown. Maud Fields, widow of Harry, died 1904, typhoid fever, from Iowa. Unknown, but remembered by God. A lot of these are unknown. Died of pneumonia, 1902. Farrell was his name. Edith Morath. John Newell. Not everyone's marked, but just the ones. Alfred Anderson died May the 12th, 1906. Gunshot wounds after assaulting a lady in her Bagino in the Tenderloin district. All right, he assaulted a prostitute, and she shot him, evidently, or somebody shot him. Mount El Day. Let's see what this says here. Impaled by a shovel handle when the bucket was riding the surface, fell to the bottom of a valley in a shaft. The shovel handle went through him. And then he fell to the bottom of a shaft. Somebody's name of man. Harry Fields, age unknown, heart failure. Owner of the Green Front Dance House and Saloon. Known as a sporting fellow. Benjamin Stevenson fell from the 700-foot level to slump to the Tonopah mine shaft, Belmont shaft. Rest in peace, Ben. Frank McGuire died of pneumonia from Ireland. Pat Lowell. Vincent Stimler. Still, we're going back here a way. Marion Cutzall, Mildred Bishop. Now, many of these women may have been dance hall girls or prostitutes. Many of them came to Nevada, and they got married. Baby Bertrand, Baby Harrington, Infant Smith, Infant Byers, Ethel Barnes, John McNamara, Arabella Allen, Infant Calls, Infant Sob, sometimes it's good to remember these people that once lived and are now forgotten so many times. Charles Bartolomeo, Anna Watson, murdered by R.D. Chase, who committed suicide. James Kern, Spanish-American War, 1st Nevada Infantry, died in April 1905 of pneumonia from Ireland. That could have been died in 1905, got caught in pumping machinery in Tonopah water rye plant, native of Scotland. (1905). Can't read too much of it. Edward Gregg. Apache Page. Evidently he was Apache Indian. Let's go back up here and come down. Norman Combs, U.S. Army, World War II. He was buried here in 1996 for some reason. Memory of baby William Combs, 6 months, 1911. Hewley Hussey, Langdon. Looking back, there's Maryland up there in the Clown Hotel. We're coming along down here. Hope you're enjoying this. I know people like to visit these old graveyards. She was born in Texas, Mary Jefferson. Died in 1908, probably from the flu. William Mullins. Gordon. Died of pneumonia. W.H. Davis. Virginia, native. Fanny Davis, pneumonia, from Texas. G. Canet. Eugene Bloomberg. George Davis, also known as Devil Davis, native of Missouri. Politician and owner of the Eureka Saloon, gunshot wounds inflicted by his wife. She must have got mad at him. I'm sure. Now let's go here. William Combs, 6 months old, 1911. Can't read that to Makovich or something like that. Olga Camel. A baby died. Probably all of these are babies. Being a baby born in this wild country like this, sometimes you didn't live very long. Premature birth. These must be all babies here. All the way down through here. Lyndon Hargrove, 9 months old. Accident while playing with friend. Civil War veteran, William Benson, 110th Colored Infantry, enlisted in Hulsky, settled in Peocha, Nevada. He was a member of the Grand Army of the Republic. Rocks here. Nevada National Guard, died of pneumonia. California native. John Didognik. Died of pneumonia. A lot of people died of pneumonia here. Died of pneumonia. Thomas Muga. Peter Geragovich. Dan died of pneumonia. 1905. Kelly. Pneumonia. Baby O'Donnell. These are almost all babies here. Sometimes they have a nasal. Cause of death, pneumonia. Verberg. Blood poisoning. Born in Michigan, died of pneumonia. Died of pneumonia. 1905 was there's a little baby's grave over there in the Silver Peak Range. Both of them, two brothers, died. 1906 and 1907, died of pneumonia. John Ryan, pneumonia. Hannah Ryan. People lived and died and laughed and loved and cried. Grave sites of one of many unknown settlers seeking the end of the rainbow. Placed in memory of those pioneers buried in unknown graves. Sites nearby. We're nearly at the end of the graveyard here now. Matt Devine, gunshot wound, 1910. John Kincaid murdered near the railroad depot, born in Wisconsin. Kate Miller died of morphine overdose. Probably a prostitute. John Shea, born in Michigan, was thawing out frozen dynamite and exploded. Wisconsin, died of pneumonia. McDonald, what it says there. Jack Madigan died from gunshot by former partner in Goldfield, Nevada saloon. C. Vale, Civil War veteran John Culligan, born in Ireland. He's probably a conscripted soldier of the Northern Army. I find a lot of them were brought into this country. Barnes Gibson died. Dynamite killed him. Jeff Hawks, a concussion of the brain when fell under the wheels of the train near the depot. Born in Michigan, died of dynamite. H. Hawks from England, died in 1902 when a trip was driven through his body and he fell on it. Alvin Critchfield, I can see that from far off. Thomas, died in an explosion at the mine. Civil War veteran. Enrolled in the Missouri militia. Now here we go. Well, we're up here to the sheriff. Mather. And here is Sheriff Logan. Medal of Honor, Purple Heart, Nye County Sheriff's Office. Born 1861. Was killed by a man, and he got off killing him. He didn't even hang him. to death in front of the Gay Bell Saloon, Main Street, Manhattan. Left a widow and 8 children. That's the one that Logan Field is named after. Thomas W. Logan. Died in the line of duty. And the man that killed him got off scot-free. Sound like America today, doesn't it? I can't read a lot of these. Hugh Fulton. Gunshot wound at Silver Bowl by friend during argument. Native New York City. Let's go up here and then we'll be finished with our tour of the old graveyard in Tonopah, Nevada. I hope you enjoyed these historical little stories. Meriden. I can't read anything there about it. Veteran Andrew Charlton, Civil War, Missouri Infantry. Here we go down the Boot Hill here. Many of these don't have any signs on them, or they're so worn from age. George Davis, also known as Devil Davis. Yeah, we saw this before. And I think we went up here. But just in case we didn't, we will go back. I think we did. Pneumonia, Virginia native, Davis. Up here and see what this one's about. I think we've been here. Maybe not. Thomas P. Linden died of a gunshot wound. Native of Colorado. Hannah Linden died 1910 also. And I don't know who this is here. Solomon. Native of Iowa, I think. A few more graves over here. Francis Henderson, age 4, died of pneumonia. Merritt Allen, gunshot wound. Frank Berger, typhoid fever. Harold Beaker, pneumonia, New York native. There we're looking back down toward the Highlander there, across the graveyard. I think we covered this one fairly well today. Now there are a lot of other grave sites here, as you can see, but they've lost memory of these, even though their bones are still here. H.K. Taylor and Eccles. Following around here a little bit. Let's see if we looked at these, maybe. We did. George E. Money the Second. 1906, probably a pneumonia. Douglas. I think we went through every bit of this. I tried to get most of these here. Many of them are not marked. I think with the handout that you can see some of them. Little monuments up here. See if I've seen these before, maybe. Mine fire 1911. These are all killed. The mine fires, right, yeah, we were here. These are all victims of mining accidents here. They're veterans of the Civil Wars. Looks like they might have dug him up or something. Cave in the Liberty Mine. In 1882 to 1862, 1911. These two brothers were killed. Or car when they tried to stop them. They'll let it go. They would have lived a little longer maybe until another accident came along. This is the old cemetery. The old cemetery in Tonopah. I think 1911 was the last of it. Thought this would be a real good shot of the mountain. White Mountains were over here by Coaldale, what used to be Coaldale, Highway 6 and 95, and we're going up Highway 6 now. And you can see White Mountains in the background. You can see Boundary and Montgomery Peak up there. They're over 13,000 feet. And if you look up there, a whole lot of that mountain range is way over 13,000 feet. 14,000. Over there to the far left is a White Mountain Peak at 14,252 feet. We'll go up here and turn left and go back toward that way. See where all the washouts are here on the roads. There have been a lot of mudslides and water over the highway up here because of all the rain we've had and snow. It rained, snowed, sleeted, and hailed all in one day the other day. Water standing around. This water was much deeper this morning than it is right now. side of the road. This is like a lake out here this morning. We'll be turning up here to the left in a little while. Tossing me around here a little bit. Hard gust of wind at the time. Over there in Coaldale, there's a lot of coal deposits over there. It's kind of a reddish brown coal, anthracite. I used to go get some a long time ago, put it in the wood stove. I'm going to try to find some of it this year sometime. We get time among all the other things I'm doing. Just about to the turnoff here. A lot of water standing. Water standing, it's evaporating some, but it's like a lake here this morning. Tail, Immigrant's Trail, goes out to the hot well, but it almost goes through marshland out there in the main wall. As you can see, there's a lot of water. And over there, I think that red mountain over there, that's the coal deposits, I believe. See, there's a lot of water here. We'll be going up through here and you'll see a lot of washouts over the road where they were. Water, when it rains, goes down these road banks here like rivers. You're going to see a antelope going across the road here or something, or a big orange sheep.
Here's some gravel.
You can see where the water went across the road. Put quite a few culverts on the road. Water all trying to go toward Fish Lake, where Fish Lake used to be. A lot of the dirt over the road that were here this morning is gone now. See White Mountain there in the background. Every one of these dips, there was water going across the road this morning. dusty here this morning. Where the flood had gone across the highway. There's some more. Some more here. And bringing a lot of field dirt on the side here. The road was washed out quite a little bit. Looks like I got a grader up here ahead of me. Somebody pulling a grader. Where the dirt went across the highway, the floods. Down around the Caterpillar. We had a lot of water across the road.
Yeah. You can see that.
I'm taping this for you, Marilyn.
Oh. This is Friday, isn't it?
Huh?
Friday?
Yeah, this is Friday.
15th?
15th, I think.
2023?
2023. Doesn't seem possible.
No.
I didn't think we'd ever see 20 or 2000, the year Y2K. Going down in the Fish Lake Valley now. You can see those white mountains are covered with snow. I'm sure that the snow will not melt off those mountains this year. Keeps snowing too much.
The little creek is going high.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do another update on the house and the creek and everything. I'd like to get it painted a little bit more before I do that. Maybe I will. Hopefully. We're almost down here in Fish Lake Valley. The something's over to the left of us there. That's the petrified forest. Which Marilyn got to go up in the Jeep, didn't you, girl?
Mm-hmm.
We all went up all as far as you could go without walking.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be something if you could go back in time and see what these forests look like here? Now they're petrified.
Yeah, this was the forest. Actually, there was trees all the way down here to the valley because it's pretty high altitude. But the people that lived here, the early pioneers and the Indians, some Indians mostly took dead limbs. But when they started mining here, they cut down all the trees. Had the Chattahoochee Creek and some of the creeks sprayed with defoliant to kill the trees. So they wouldn't use up so much of the water. They wanted the water for irrigation down in farmland here. Sealed this whole road, and we'll have it all the way down to the California line pretty soon. But in a few more days, then they'll paint it with yellow strips or yellow lines, or whatever you want to call them, the old white lines. You can see the line of trees is Chattahoochee Creek. Actually, at Chattahoochee, Middle Creek, and Davis Creek, and Chattahoochee Creek all flowing into one down below here. Oiled this road and put gravel on top of it, packed it down. Video on today, if it lasts that long, to drive you right up in the yard. This is the big mining outfit, a gravel plant, cement, bash plant, mining,
What's that?
shop, and everything at one time here at Combined Metals. They used to be one of my customers. I'm talking there to the machine.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, and then Larry Atkins had got the type of mental dementia or something of some sort, and it all just went fallow. Millions of dollars worth of equipment there. Had the biggest machine shop in this country. Little subdivisions here along and farms. At one time there weren't any hardly any housing up here at all. It was all farms. When I came here in 1953, there were 51 people in this valley. Basically, nearly all of them were farmers, or retired farmers. You through a little ride through the yard so you can see how much improvement we have made. This road is so crooked it about throws you off the road every now and then. And the old road maintenance station here. I used to live in that tin building to the right there, that old garage. At times, we'd go up and catch wild horses, and I'd stay there and train the horses. And my dad would come back, and I'd have them gentle down. You could ride them. Then he would do his extra wonderful tricks on the horses. Make them do just anything but pretty much talk. And we're driving up Mountain Water Ranch Road. The only one that had any trees here at one time, and after I came here people started planting trees. You can see my trees are much bigger than other people's trees. They hadn't done that yet. We planted them on these trees, those pine trees to the right. Marilyn bought little 5-gallon buckets. Our yard is full of wildflowers. Now, some of you have not seen the front of the house since we finished that and put the steps on it and everything. We got to paint it. There's Will Rogers' water well there, that little fountain I got. We'll go around here and we go down by the creek. The creek is running very hard. You'll get to see that when we go by the creek. White sage and Indian tea here. And some rabbit brush. Go down here and look at the creek a little bit. Can. We've got fruit trees all along the creek. Over here to the left of me is Indian tea. You can pick that off, let it dry, and boil it in water, and it's kind of like a medicine almost. That's what they call Mormon tea also. We're going to go down in here. We've got 2 of the 3 containers. Actually, we got 4 containers up here now. Those are lupins down there, Marilyn says. There's the creek, running pretty high. I have to mow the grass down here again pretty soon. You can hear the creek rushing and roaring and the lupins waving in the breeze. Butterflies fluttering. Go up here, look at the back side of the house. There's our guest room on the back of the house and the little guest patio. And of course you can see the antenna towers all over the place. There's my old portable shop. And then over here we got 2 40-foot containers that we just put in here so we can move our stuff up here. Later on there'll be shops and storage material places for different things. There's one of the towers there. That one there we just brought in this last week. This week, actually. And there's 2 of them. There's another reefer box I got, and then a little 25-foot sea train. The chicken pens. One of the chickens aren't coming up here and saying hi to me. Our doves out there. We got a lot of wild doves here. There they go. Those are resident doves there. They live here all the time. And we got some wild doves also. These are domestic doves that are living in the wild. They're all along here, as you can see. They're watching me, wanting me to give them some food. They're not afraid, as you can see. And here's our fruit trees. That's a elephant heart plum tree, another elephant heart plum tree, and the Santa Rosa plum, and cherries on the other side. Cherry trees and apple trees. There's an apple tree there. It's just loaded with apples. A couple of peach trees and then one dead peach tree. And more cherry trees and currants, raspberries and grapes, blackberries. And then we're going to drive into the garage. Old people need a garage that opens up for them. I know you city people have this all the time. I never did before. This is my first automatic garage door and first garage door I could ever drive into in my whole life. Well, we're home. We're driving into the house. Here we are. Thank you for traveling with us today. Today we had a tour of the old cemetery in Tonopah, Nevada. I'm going to take this flyer handout into the last part of the the story here in the video, we're going to look at this. Turn the wrong light switch. Take a video tour. It's over now. This cemetery is between 1901 and 1911. Let's turn it over the other way now. Look at that. Let you read a little bit of that. William Big Murphy, the Maragovich brothers, George Devil Davis, the three Merton brothers, Bina Veralt, and Sheriff Thomas Logan. Logan Field. We went down Logan Field today and we looked at Logan Field. Maybe you can stop and read this. I'm going to read one thing about here. George Devil Davis. George Devil Davis was the first African American in Tonopah. He was known for being a joker and prankster and was beloved by the whole entire community, regardless of his race. George worked hard, becoming the political leader of the African American community, and eventually came to own his own saloon, which was named the Eureka. However, George had a dark side. Witnesses said that George was an abusive husband, and on the night of June the 22nd, 1907, his wife, Ruth, came into the saloon and shot George in the back. She continued to fire as he went down. Ruth only served 1 year for his killing. Sheriff Thomas Logan was serving his third term as sheriff when he was shot to death by an unruly gambler in the Manhattan Red Light District in 1906, that is. According to his great-granddaughter and author Jackie Bohr, Logan was unarmed and dressed only in his nightshirt. His last act was to prevent the piano player from shooting his assailant, who was later acquitted. The murder Logan was credited with making early Tonopah the most peaceable mining camp in the world. His loss was profoundly affected the community. Bina Veralt. Bina Veralt's story starts in New York City. There she and her friend Isella Brown ran a love syndicate. The women claimed to be wealthy widows, and they would seduce rich men into giving them expensive gifts and money. One man fell in love with Bina, and when she refused his attentions, he did not return his gifts. He went to the authorities. Bina was arrested. It was estimated that the two women collected about $100,000 in fine clothing, jewelry, and money, which in today's dollars would be $2.5 million. During the trial, Bina pawned some diamond rings and fled. About a year later, she found herself in Tonopah. Her time on the run had taken its toll, and she died of alcoholism, and her death made headlines around the world. That's just some of the stories here. I hope you enjoyed the tour today. Thank you. God bless you. And please subscribe to our channel with more updates on many things, subjects from theology to Greek and Hebrew to any biblical subject and that you can think of, systematic theology and all the parables in the Bible, and just all around having fun driving around and touring the wilds of Nevada. Thank you.